Please welcome Dr. Tony DeMarco from Island, New Jersey.
I am going to go old school on you tonight. Basically, I'm going to regurgitate what Reggie Goldus taught us. And if I start talking fast, it's because I didn't know I was going to be sitting up here for 50 minutes, and I really have to pee. So bear with me. Here's how chiropractic relates to health and getting the body to work better. The brain and the spinal cord. First organs formed so they can control and coordinate everything that goes on in your body from 3.5 weeks of mama's tummy. Years ago, 40 years ago, that brain was compared to a computer, so we rode away to IBM up in Poughkeepsie, New York, and we asked them, what would it take to build a computer to perform the human functions? And their answer to us at that time was this: that computer would have to be as tall as the Empire State Building and as big around as the state of Texas. Well, with all the advances in microcircuitry, I'd estimate that today it would have to be smaller. And all of that information is in 2.5 pounds of brain tissue. We never have to say to our brain, can we change your oil? Give you a grease job. It functions properly for us from the time we're born till the time we die. Yet, if it's interfered with, it does cause problems. What happens when somebody has a stroke? Part of their brain is damaged, and then parts of their body just won't work right. What happens when that part of the brain, the spinal cord, is damaged? Somebody dives into a pool, breaks their neck. Damage done to the spinal cord. Can't move their arms, can't move their legs, can't speak, can't breathe properly. Christopher Reeves is a prime example of that. The brain and the spinal cord control absolutely everything that goes on in your body. The way that brain gets that information out to the body, there's a little hole in the bottom of your skull about the size of a quarter, and it sends down the extension, the spinal cord. And the spinal cord is just as important down here as the brain is up here. It even has that same kind of protection, solid bone. But Mother Nature in her wisdom knew that we had to bend, twist, and turn, so divided the spinal column into 24 movable segments called vertebrae, or the bones of the spine. And out between each pair of vertebrae, the spinal cord sends a large nerve trunk that divides and redivides millions and millions and millions of times until it goes to every organ, every tissue, every cell in your body. 60 trillion cells in your body. Each cell performs at least 1,000 different functions. Each cell has at least 12 nerves going to it. The only connection between your brain and your big toe to tell it when to wiggle is a nerve that comes down the spinal cord. Comes out the spine here, goes down your leg, goes to that toe, and tells it what to wiggle. Same with every organ, every tissue, every cell in your body. The function of your intestines doesn't emanate from the intestines. It's from the brain. It sends down messages. It goes to every organ, every tissue, every cell. Same with your kidneys, same with your lung, your heart. The energy for your heart to beat isn't in the heart. It's like a light bulb. You can carry a light bulb around with you all day long. It's never going to light up. It needs a source of power. So you screw it into a lamp. The lamp has a wire that goes into the wall. A wire from the wall goes into your basement. A wire from your basement goes into the street. A wire from the street goes to a power generating station, and it generates the power for that light bulb to light. Otherwise, you can carry it around with you all day long, and the only one I know who would have that light bulb light up by carrying it around with him all day long is Uncle Fester. And so it is with our heart. The energy for the heart to beat doesn't emanate from the heart. From the brain, generates a life energy that flows over the wires of the body, the nerves, until it goes to that heart. And it tells that heart, when you go to sleep at night, your body doesn't need as much oxygen. It slows it down. When you exercise, it needs more oxygen. That brain and nervous system control your body, every organ, every tissue, every cell, bar none. Told you earlier, bones of the spine, 24 movable segments, but because they are movable, they can go out of place. And they go out of place, what they do is they put pressure on the nerve. And when they put pressure on the nerve, it stops whatever at the other end of that nerve from functioning properly. Dr. Chung Ha Soo, scientist at the University of Colorado, said this, that 45 millimeters of mercury pressure will decrease the function of the nerve by 60%. To me, 45 millimeters of mercury is two $half taped together, placed on the back of your hand. And I go around to the people and I place it on the back of the hand, and they see that is not much pressure at all. That bone out of place that puts pressure on a nerve is what we call a subluxation. Here's a sketch of a subluxation. Two bottom bones in proper alignment, thick, healthy nerve coming out between them. Bone in the upper part is moved out of place, put pressure on a nerve that's left there for so long that whatever's at the other end of the nerve can't possibly function properly. Bone in the spine that moves out of place is called a subluxation. And we call them silent killers because most times you don't even know you have a subluxation until you finally, body breaks down and gives you symptoms. How do we get subluxations? It all starts very early. Mama's 9 months pregnant. Goes into labor. 9 times out of 10, rushed off to the hospital. In the hospital, on a delivery table, the obstetrician is waiting there to deliver the baby. He takes the head when it comes out, twists it in one direction to deliver one shoulder, then twists it in the other direction to deliver the other shoulder, and then tractions on the body to remove it the rest of the way. Looks like a difficult delivery, doesn't it? It's considered normal in the United States today, but it must cause damage. It must cause damage. Our breathing centers are located right here next to our first cervical vertebra. They detect carbon dioxide and oxygen levels in the lung. Give the impulses, tell when to breathe in, when to breathe out. Damage done to the spine during the birth process. Sets the child up for respiratory problems, maybe through their lifetime. Well, then when should it be corrected? As soon as it happens. We have mothers who come to our office on day 2 to have their baby's spines checked. If it has a subluxation, we remove it. If it doesn't, we send the baby home and check it at a later date. Why? Because babies start to grow up. Baby's 3 months old. Mama's had the baby all along. It's daddy's turn. You've seen fathers hold a baby like this, throw him up and catch him. Have you seen fathers do that with babies? Picture me as the baby. I'm going to be very nice to myself tonight. I'm 5'7", I'm 180 pounds. You've got to picture, my father would have to be 16 feet tall and 2,000 pounds. Picture a 16 foot tall, 2,000 pound man holding me like this, throwing me up and catching me. My whole body would whip around. Kids throw their heads into the couch. I don't know a child who doesn't love to go at the top of the stairs, boom, boom, boom on their backside till they reach the bottom. And then what do? Right back up to the top of the stairs again and do it again. You watch a child play for a half hour. You will not wonder how their spine goes out of place at all. You'll wonder you won't wonder how it stays in place. You'll wonder how it stays in place at all. I mix it up, but you understand what I mean. Never being corrected when we're children is made permanent during our teens. Kids play football, rugby, cheerleaders, form pyramids, stand on top of each other. We had a game in my neighborhood called Buck Buck, Charlie Rides a Pony. One of us silly kids would stand against a tree like this. 5 of our buddies across the street take a running jump, boom, land on your back. And he stayed there till the next guy came along. And the next guy came along till finally you fell down. But when you got up, just wasn't a pain in the neck or a pain in the back. It was an interference to your nervous system. Next time you're at an amusement park, stroll over to the bumper cars. Watch the necks on the children. Whack, whack, 15, 20 whiplash injuries a ride. If Mama was sitting at a red light in her car and she got hit from behind, first stop she'd make was at the lawyer's house. But she lets her kids go on the bumper cars. All of that, compounded by the pounding stresses of adulthood. Too many bills, too many financial worries, all from living in our present-day society. The vertebral subluxation, physical, chemical, and emotional stresses that build themselves up over a lifetime, causing nervous system overwhelming, causing muscular imbalance, which pulls the bone out a little bit more, which now irritates the nerve. When should it be corrected? As soon as it happens, throughout your lifetime, so that your body has the best possible chance, and you don't walk around with dim light bulbs in your organs and tissues in your body. The one thing, that's just a small snippet of my chiropractic orientation. But it's how I explain chiropractic. It's old school to me. It doesn't get complicated. I don't go into neurophysiology with the patient. Hard bone on a soft nerve stops their body from working right, and they go do things throughout their lifetime to cause their spine to go out of place, and they need regular chiropractic checkups throughout their lifetime. Need to communicate with your patients. If you don't know how, you need to learn. And one of the great things about the terminology I think the Schofields use is they call it training. And you know what? We need to train ourselves to communicate. Didn't that happen, Josh? All right.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3,
You're the sum of all your training. Do your training, go back and change the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.